obviously you were a sales rep, and at your top you did 2.1 million in a single year in commissions, right?
Top close to 3 million. So
Oh,
my
three.
last, yeah. So like I had 6 years where I made close to $3 million in commissions, like 2.6 to 2.9. Never cracked 3 million in 1 year in commissions before I retired.
So I mean, there you were doing fairly well for yourself,
Yeah,
right? So
decent. Yeah.
what really
For a
made you
commission only rep, yeah.
transition? So what
Yeah.
made you give away the 3 million commission a year and start a sales training company and have to start back from essentially zero?
Yeah, I mean, I had an 18-year sales career, retired in 2018. And then like midway through 2019, like people had always told me like you should start your own sales training company, blah 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 blah. But it was never really on my mind. I started seeing a bunch of ads from like even Cardone, which I respect Cardone, great marketer, obviously. I saw a lot of ads from him about like, and I didn't even know who that guy was. Like legitly never heard of that guy till like 2018, 2019. Then all of a sudden started seeing all these ads. And I'm like, man, if I sold that way, what he's teaching, like I would have, like in my mind, made like 90% less.
I had this. I
That makes
have the
sense.
same feeling, you know.
Yeah, and I saw all these people like craving for this training because it's like they need help. And I was like, well, maybe I should do this. And probably after about 6 or 7 months of being retired, it got kind of boring. And that's when I started 7 Level. I locked myself in my man cave and wrote the first training program after about 6 months, and then we launched.
And you were how old at that point?
Geez, that would have been, we launched it in 2020, so that would have been 6 years ago. So I was like 42 then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that wasn't even that long ago.
6 years ago, yeah.
Nice.
So
That's like around the same
almost
time.
7 years.
Yeah.
6.5, something
We
like
we
that.
kind
Yeah.
of started at the same time. I
Kinda
started in
did, yeah.
2019. So 2020, 0 to a million. What was that like? I'm sure maybe for you that was pretty fast.
I mean, for us, like, so we started basically like late 2019, I think, somewhere in that range. And I think the first 12 months we did, I say 1.3 million in sales, but I spent 1.9. So we lost 600,000.
You spent 1.9, but you made 1.1.
It was me and my assistant. It was me and my executive assistant, Beth. She's still with the company today. That was my EA back in my last sales job.
Yeah.
And so I retired, and then like 8 months later, I'm like, hey, I'm going to start this thing. You know, come work for her. She's in. So it was me and her, and I was trying to figure out how to do webinars and like marketing. I threw money everywhere. This marketing agency said they could do this. Most of that was just bullshit. It didn't work out that well.
Yeah.
And lost like 600 grand the first year. And I'm like, okay, so how many years can I keep losing 600 grand a year before I'm like going to have to come out of retirement? Was my thought process. But the first year, we got a lot of testimonials, but yeah, that was a
No,
learning
was that
experience
because
for
you were
sure.
trying like? Did you get maybe the wrong advice and got kind of too sucked into the internet marketing space to where you were trying to like do like an auto webinar and sell a thing that was like $1,000 or
Yeah,
like
dude,
what was?
I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd never been in the online world all the time. You're talking about like I salesperson, or I was a VP of sales for a couple companies, chief sales officer as well. So like in those worlds, like there was nothing really online, if that makes sense. It was all cold calling, door to door, or it was straight on like calling businesses. So getting into the online world, like trying to figure out the webinar structure and how to sell from those. I made quite a bit of sales because we only did 4 webinars that first year.
Yeah.
But like the marketing, when I hired those marketing agencies, it was like throwing all this money, hoping something was going to happen from it. It was quite interesting.
Okay. So then what was like the shift to where you went from the negative to the
Yeah.
positive and things
I
started
think the
working
next
out?
year we did close to 5 in the next 12 months. Then we went up to like 25. We went really quick that next year, but a lot of it was, Matt, I think your partners
Yeah,
with him,
Dialer, yeah.
Dialer, and Matt came in, kind of like started to like took over as like the CEO type of run the business, let me do my thing and like sales and recruiting, and he kind of focused on just running the business type of thing. And we got a marketing agency that was legit that first year that kind of helped us scale, and then after that we started doing internally, bringing people in, and then that's when we really
That's when
started-
you took off.
Yeah.
So the first model was kind of like this. We have no idea what we're doing. We're doing 4 webinars a year. We're spending a bunch of
'Cause
money
I'm
on
still
ads.
kind of retired. I
yeah.
literally was still retired. I'm like, okay, let's just do like a webinar every 3 months, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's literally what it was.
And then so when Matt came in, then how did your like offers or acquisition change?
Well, we started putting together like, because on the webinar we sold like a product for like $1,000. So now we started like, okay, let's have this course that's 3,000 or 4,000. Let's have this course, it's called Pro now, that's 10,000. Let's have this Inner Circle course that's 25,000. So we started putting together like more high ticket offers type of thing.
Yeah.
And we started putting offers together for like companies because that's a little bit different. So I think we just basically got more organized and like what the business model actually was and who our avatar actually was.
Right. So you're doing the, higher ticket offers and stuff. Were you still doing the webinars, or how did the marketing
we started
change?
doing like the virtual challenges, I think, like everybody else did in 2022.
Yeah.
Those worked out really well for us. So we still do two to three of those per year.
I've never
now.
done one. It just makes me want to like tear my. I just don't want to do it.
I don't know, man. They're good. See, the reason why we do them is like we sell like a $3,000 course on there. It's a $5,000 course we normally sell. We discount it down to $3,000, and we get like we'll get like 300 to 500 buyers of that, and then over the next 90 days, we're getting probably 30 to 40% of them to upsell into our higher end stuff.
Yeah.
So it's it's like a no-brainer for us.
Yeah. So you do the couple of challenges. Were you doing a call funnel, you think, at that time too?
God, what do we do? We're doing a bunch of SLOs. We had we started like 2022 is when we got really big, because that's when I started. Like I was like Matt. So me and Matt have been in business maybe 1 year. I'm like, Matt, we got to get a videographer and have them follow me around, and let's do these things called Reels, because I'd never had an Instagram account until December of 2021. And my daughter came and she's like, Dad, you need to do these Reels. And I started watching people. I'm like, oh, we should do like 2 or 3 of these a day.
Yeah.
So we literally hired a videographer, started doing the first reel was January 2022. And then that's when we just we went literally from like 5 to 6 million to like 25 the next year.
Okay. So the first leap was, not knowing what you're doing, kind of getting organized. You did 5 million. Then between, it seems like getting on social media, starting to do some more content. And I think that's where the book offer came in.
I think we started doing the black book of questions, which we still sell like 300 of those a day.
Well, the saying is the first person to get tired of your marketing is you.
Right.
So you probably got a long runway. Like it's a good rule of thumb is so if you've been doing, let's say, that funnel for 4 years, you probably at least have another 4 years.
It's crazy. And we've, I've written out 4 other SO offers. We have the NPQ Black Book of Overcoming Objections. We have the NPQ Black Book called Prospecting. So we have like these other offers. We just haven't used them yet.
Might not need to.
It's not a bad problem to have.
Might not need to. So, and then when you launched that allowed you to get to where in terms of
then we like I said, we grew really fast. We went from like 5 to like 25, then we went to like 32, then went to 39. That's what we did last year, right under 40. Yeah. This year we're on pace for a little bit under 50.
Okay.
If things stay the same. I'm hoping that, not hoping, but I have intention to raise that.
I want to rewind a little bit. I want to ask you a question. Probably nobody's ever asked you this, and I've always wondered. So, this had to have been late 2019. I went through your sales training. It was right when I was in my.
And you went through the 1.0 version.
I went through the 1.0 version, and so I remember going through these initial modules, and it was a lot about it wasn't necessarily the sales training yet. What you were trying to do is really kind of sell everybody onto the paradigm shift and the big idea around your methodology of selling, right?
Yeah.
And NEPQ and all that stuff. So you were talking about like the old way of doing it and the new way of doing it. And you had like clearly a big idea, unique mechanism. And at that time, like I was, obviously my career was in sales, but I was also very into direct response marketing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I haven't even gotten to the sales training yet. But this marketing, like I call it a copy platform, like your overarching messaging that everything else in your business, your social, your ads or whatever stems from. I was like, this copy platform is really good.
Thank you.
And so did somebody help you with that? Or
that was pretty much
did you
my
come up
brain.
with it? Like how did you come up with that?
That was all my brain. Old model versus new model was my brain.
Yeah.
Like that was my brain. We had some copywriters, but most of the time, we have like the best copywriters now, the last like year and a half, like the best out there. But like before, I mean, you know how it is. You have some that are good, some of them are not so good. So a lot of times you'll give them an idea and they'll mess it up. So I would give them ideas and just kind of have to tweak it a little bit, if that makes sense. But the old model versus new model was how I positioned it at the very beginning.
I remember going through it and thinking, I haven't even gotten to the sales training yet, but like this guy is literally like a direct response. Like he knows direct response.
It's just changing belief systems, right?
Yeah,
So I went to school to become a psychologist. So all we would ever learn about patients is how do you change their belief systems, how do you help them change their behaviors, and how to form a new identity.
Yeah.
So that's literally all we were taught.
So in the way I kind of looked at what you were doing is basically there's something called a central marketing thesis. Now, like Russell Brunson calls it, I think the domino belief. In sales, you can call it your sales thesis, whatever it is.
Sure.
But it's the one belief that if they believe to be true, that whatever
else
objections
follows.
become irrelevant and they buy.
Yeah.
And then within that, there's essentially like a belief ladder. So there's sub-beliefs and there's basically your claims and your proof against those claims to where if this is true and then that is true and then this is true and also this is true, then the main conclusion is true. And so that sounds like
That's
of
what I
what you
did.
were doing.
Like I said, I looked through everything, not even as a salesperson, but more as a psychologist.
Yes.
Sales second, but really psychology is sales, and sales is psychology with human nature